Have you ever had that feeling at the gun counter? You're listening to a sales pitch, or perhaps you watch a salesman trying to convince someone your age they need a $600 optic for a gun they've had 20 years. And the look on the person's face, maybe it's your face, they know something's not right. Something is off. Well, I know what's wrong and I know what to do. Here's the truth that nobody in the gun industry wants to admit. Most of the gear being pushed on us isn't solving real-world problems we face as we get older. They're only solving problems that exist mainly in someone else's marketing department. And if you want to know what I've learned after 30 years of firearms, the guy who shoots the best aren't the ones with the most accessories. They're the ones who have identified actual limitations and they've made smart, targeted upgrades. And not because some young YouTube influencer told them to, but because they understand what their eyes and their hands actually need. Now let me break this down for you with some real-world examples. And we're going to talk about what actually matters first. Now, if you remember that target focus technique I showed you last month, that's free, and it will probably do more for your accuracy than $1,000 in accessories. But if your sights are generally hard to see, then yes, better sights make sense. Something like True Glow fiber optics or XS big dots I mentioned before. But here's what does not make sense. Spending $500 on a trigger job when your groups are off because you can't see your sights clearly. Or buying a red dot when all you really need is better technique with target focus. Now, the smart money approach is fix your biggest problem first. You have to ask yourself, what is my biggest problem? For most of us over 50, it's not trigger pull or our grip. It's sight acquisition and target identification. Now, my rule of thumb is a piece of gear doesn't directly address aging eyes, reduce grip or recoil management or comfort. I think twice before buying. Everything else is probably just making our gun heavier and our wallet lighter. Now, I'm not anti-gear. I am anti-stupid gear. There's a difference. Here's what I want you to do before your next gun store visit. Write down the specific problems you're having and be honest with yourself. Are you missing shots because you can't see your sights? Well, that's a sight problem. Are you missing because you're flinching from recoil? That might be a gun weight or you're using too big of a caliber. Are you missing because you're rushing your shots? Well, that's a training problem, not a gear problem. Now, these are smart upgrades that can actually help us. You have better sights, fiber optic, tritium, big dots. Grips that accommodate arthritis or reduced hand strength. Or maybe a red dot if your eyes are having trouble with target focus. A good holster you can actually draw from smoothly and it's comfortable. Now, questionable upgrades, I would say, are match triggers unless you're competing. Tactical lights for your carry gun. Now, for me, lights are okay for home defense. You have to think about extended magazines. Do you want the extra weight and bulk? And anything that starts with the word tactical. Now, here's the thing about getting older, and I say this as someone who is getting older at 55. We don't need to prove anything to anyone anymore. We don't need the coolest gear or the latest trends. We need stuff that works, that's reliable when it matters. The 30 or maybe the 40-year-old at the gun counter might have good vision and stronger hands, but you have something they don't. More experience and the wisdom to know what actually matters. Use that. So I'd love to hear from you guys. What's the one piece of gear you bought you thought would help, but it didn't? Or what's the one simple change, whether it's a gear or technique that actually made a difference for you? Drop it in the comment below. Remember, your experiences help other people in our community make smarter decisions. And if this saved you from an unnecessary purchase, please hit that subscribe button. We are building a community of people who value wisdom over wealth and experience over equipment. So until next time, spend your money wisely, shoot often, and I'll see you next week. Bye.